Thank you so much. I think it's a really a very humble beginning for me today, especially on a Saturday, to mark this August, gathering. And first of all, when I got this invite from Shalini from ITS, I was really overwhelmed and also a little out of the way tuned because I was just thinking, as an HR professional, what are you guys going to benefit on such an important and imperative topic like marketing? Right? But immediately, what sensed me right was that, right from the time we start talking to people after we graduate or even during graduation, right, there is an element of marketing and sales within us. So, marketing and sales, I strongly love this topic because it's an inherited skill and it's not an acquired skill, right? A lot of people may have a different perspective on this, but my perspective is very simple that you have to be really a good, storyteller. I think that's what Mr. Tomar also mentioned in the beginning, right? That when you become a marketeer, you are actually talking about yourself. And especially when you're talking about yourself, it's about not only being a brand for yourself, but it's also about what others perceive you as a, brand in the market. So without any further ado, I have heard many of the speakers since morning, and I have not been away from this interesting conference even for a bit. So I want to make it very simple, very out of the book, because I'm really sure that the academicians are doing a wonderful job talking to you guys about the fundamentals of marketing and innovation and digital marketing. But I want to give you a more perspective on the technicalities of how marketing and innovation you would see as a future trend, and what's in the business, what's in the marketplace, what is it as we professional, young professionals, you can learn from this particular topic of mine. So I believe we have not much time in hand, but yes, let's get started. So Sana, can I present this slide of mine, please? So what I'm going to do is I'm requesting you to give me the, control for the slide. Thank you, Sana. Let me know once you all can see my screen, then we can take it forward.
Yes, sir, you are visible.
Yes, sir, we can see you.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir, we can.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. All right. So my caption for the presentation is very simple: innovative global marketing trends, which has to be demystified today as part of this presentation. For me, marketing is nothing else but a passion. I consider marketing is as an act, a godly act of presenting something to the world in its true spirit. And that's the reason I take marketing as a most integral part of oneself, whether it's an individual or an organization, to spread the word of genuineness, authenticity, and reality, right? So, and this entire marketing business or this entire marketing ecosystem runs on something which is very important, and that is called as trust. So yes, Mavin RPO Solutions, our tagline is also marked by the name Mavin RPO, Trust the Process. So let's talk about a few misconceptions, right? So we all come with so much of air in mind saying that, what's branding, what's marketing, what's advertising, what's digital advertising, what is digital marketing, what's digital branding, right? However, there are certain misconceptions, some delusions that I think it's important for us to set the context before we move forward. So, branding and marketing, these are two separate things, right? Branding is something which is always going to be, looked upon, and which is always going to be there in our mind as a recall value. Whereas marketing and marketing strategies keep changing depending upon the market scenario. So marketing is something which is always there as a strategy. It's always there as an approach. It's always there as a process, right? Whereas branding is something which leaves an impression in the audience's mind. And every marketing research or every marketing activity or a topic like marketing strategies, right? Defining marketing strategies will have a branding initiative. So today, if you come with five new marketing strategies, you may want to have five different branding strategies or five different branding attributes. However, branding and marketing is not the same. Branding comes first, marketing comes second, because marketing is ongoing. It is never static, it's dynamic in nature, whereas branding is always static. When I say static, it does not mean the entire conceptualization of branding is static. It's about the perception, the impression. It's about the mind that people are trying to tune to a specific brand. For example, Swiggy, right? If Swiggy stops branding today, does that mean we're going to stop ordering from Swiggy? No, we are not, right? If today Zomato stops their marketing and their branding on TV or on social media or mobile phone, I don't think we're going to stop ordering food from Zomato, or for that matter from any other brands. So branding is something which is always a retainer. It is always retained in your mind. Likewise, if you look at marketing advertisement, right? Advertising and marketing are two different aspects. Advertisement or advertising is a subset of marketing. And without any, you know, further ado in terms of the bookish knowledge, let me give you a very basic perspective between marketing and advertising. When I go out in the market and market Mavin RPO as a logo, let me not talk about any other logos, but Mavin RPO. Okay, we are a startup, 3.5 years old, and if I have to do marketing, the first thing that comes in my mind is how do I create a brand recall value for Maven? What's the message? What's the value proposition? Okay, what is the intersection between branding and marketing? Because there's a very thin line between branding and marketing, right? Likewise, there's a very thin line between marketing and advertisement or advertising. So when we are going ahead in the market and trying to promote ourselves, trying to brand ourselves, the first thing first that comes in the mind for any user or any customer is what's the unique value proposition of that particular brand? What does that brand stand for? One of my team members just mentioned, hey, you know what? Adidas. Adidas as a brand, if you have to really understand where did Adidas evolve from? Where does this name come from? Adidas stands for let me say, Adam Dassler and Rudolf Dassler. These were the two brothers who created the product of Adidas. Whereas Rudolf Dassler created a subset product called as Puma. Whereas the initials of Rudolf did not meet the branding requirement because Ruda did not hear good, hence they changed it to Puma. Okay, same way Adidas, it is Adi, which is your Ad, and Dassler, which is Das. So Adidas. So today, Puma may not be a very, very knowing brand or a very common brand or very important brand in the market, but Adidas today, everybody talks about Adidas. So it's all about positioning of your name, positioning of your brand in the market. Marketing or the ROI on marketing does not necessitate a dollar value or a rupee value all the time. It requires a long-term investment, and hence marketing has to be a continual process. The effect of marketing is something that you will not see maybe over a month or so after the initiatives being taken. Marketing initiatives takes place over a period of time. There's a lot of investments that goes into the market. There are crores of budgets that are put in by huge logos so that they are always relevant in the market. And the biggest ROI for marketing is to be relevant in the market. And to be staying relevant in the market, you have to spend. And that spend depends upon how deep pocket you have in terms of spending, in terms of your marketing budget. The reality check is that it's a well defined process. You can't change the process, it is natural. You can't try to trigger things to make your marketing concept, your marketing strategies fly overnight. It does not happen that way. It takes a really really good time to establish your brand, establish your product into the industry, into the market. Lot many a times people fail, but they get up. People feel that, oh, I went ahead and I engaged myself with one of the biggest ad agencies, ad companies in the country, but my brand is not having any social recall value. And that's because the strategy may be a little weak. There could be a void, there could be a vacuum in the strategy of marketing your product or your services. A well-defined process means that you have really, really articulated what you want to take to the market. And this has to be through a design thinking approach, which Anil mentioned, right? Every time you go with an approach, you have to have a very strong design thinking approach. You have to be agile. You have to keep changing your approach in the market. You have to keep changing the way you want to present yourself. Today, I'm wearing a blue jacket. That does not mean that for every conference I wear a blue jacket. Then I have a negative branding strategy saying that if you have to listen to Mahesh, he will be today in a blue jacket. Now that's going to be so boring to listen to Mahesh all the time in his blue jacket. So just a anecdote that you have to make sure that your packaging is absolutely different, colorful, flavorful, and always it has to be very vibrant and very new. Freshness is something that is required in marketing. Marketing is all about storytelling, right? Most of the time, we say that storytelling is grapevine, but storytelling is not grapevine. Storytelling is about an art. It's an art of presenting your product, presenting your story. It's always about how well, how beautifully you write your script. Everything that you say in the market, it's about scripting. You have to script your product, you have to script your services. Today, if I'm going in the market even to pitch to a new client, I will make sure that I will rehearse 10 times with my script before I go to the market. Marketing is all about telling a beautiful story, taking people through a journey, right? When people are taken inside a good journey, they enjoy that period, they enjoy that moment, they don't feel bored because they feel that they are listening to something really, really intriguing, really, really passionate. Today, a marketeer has to be passionate about what he's taking in the market or she's taking inside in the market. If you're not passionate about your subject, you will never learn the art of that business. And marketing is all about storytelling. There are different promotion campaigns, there are different ad campaigns, brand campaigns. What is all that campaign? That campaign is nothing else but storytelling, the art of selling a product, the art of marketing the product, the art of promoting that particular campaign. Whether it is a project, whether it is a movie project, whether it is a sportswear, whether even for that matter, if it's a brand, celebrity, everybody is telling a story about that person. You would see Nas Daily talking about beautiful stories. You hear about Curly Tales on Facebook talking about beautiful stories of Maharashtra and other states in the country, which are the destination zones. This is all about storytelling. Understanding the intersection between branding and marketing. This is a very, very important slide which I wanted you guys to look at. We talk about different campaigns, we talk about different branding initiatives, but what is the intersection? What is that thin line between branding and marketing? Marketing is all about offerings. It's about how you offer, where you offer, to whom you offer, what is the channel in which you offer, What is the promotion campaigns? What is the media effort? What is the sales call that you guys take? What is the SEO level? What are the leads, inbound, outbound, campaigns, advertising? These are all, subsets of marketing. Whereas branding is all about positioning. It's about how you position your brand. And for that, you have to have a very, very strong content. To brand your product, your services, you need to have great visual style, great personality. You need to have strong reputation. You need to have a very good tagline. Okay, Nike, let's do it. Even a small kid, 2.5, 3-year old kid who have started speaking, if you ask him in 10 times, after he rounds that, he will tell you, Nike, let's do it. That's the kind of the tagline force. That's the power of tagline. That's the voice of, people. Amitabh Bachchan, his voice itself is a brand. You don't have to sell Amitabh Bachchan with his name. His voice is enough in Alexa. Today he gets paid in millions and crores of rupees for just doing small, jokes on Alexa. So I have a Alexa equipment at home, and my son says, "Hey Alexa, can you play me a joke by Amitabh Bachchan?" Amitji, can you say some jokes? And quickly, Amitji comes with his voice. Branding is all about voice. It's about the power, the complete decibel of how you put your brand forward, right? Same way, it's also about the colors, fonts, presentation, etc. You can impress people by visuals, but not by voice for a long time. Hence, it is a good combination to have voice, visuals, fonts, and of course, some level of personality. So it's very important for all of us to understand the intersection between branding and marketing. Let me take you a step forward in the digital marketing world. We have all been living, breathing, all this while, YouTube's, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchats, all right, and TikToks. Have you ever thought that this is nothing else but a community? This entire social media buzz is nothing else but a community, a network of people who have come together in the internet into that spider web. And they have created a huge, huge, massive digital footprint, which is called as subscriptions, likes, blue ticks, and so on and so forth. Today, in India and globally, a brand is associated with a community because this community is nothing else but social influencers, which is also known as influence marketing or influencer marketing. YouTubers, Instagrammers, TikTokers, right? Facebook guys. Most of the time, this entire community is driven by followers. Most of the time, it is driven by followers. And these followers are nothing else but the powerhouse of customer base for many, many logos. That's the reason today the force of digital marketing, the landscape of digital marketing has changed because of these social media platforms. If you see my slide, the entire social ecosystem, okay, onto your right hand side, if you are seeing it in the reverse order, it's the left hand side, you will see that the entire social ecosystem is driven by three variants. Okay, variance is a very negative quote in today's pandemic catastrophe. So let me say not variants but flavors, right? You have an advertiser, you have a consumer, and then you have influencers. Your brand plus the social influencers increase the potential to scale up your brand with the help of social media platforms. Today, when an advertiser puts up an advertisement, Those advertisements are hosted on array of platforms, social media platforms. You get big names, big faces coming and just saying a word for that particular product, and it whoop, it goes up. The viewership goes 10 times up. And then it directly goes to the e-commerce landscape or ecosystem, and people start buying that product. I was just surfing, Amazon, and Amazon has this beautiful AI, algorithm where it looks at the customer persona, personification, and it quickly runs an algorithm to see what did Mahesh kept checking on Amazon in the last 3 days, 2 days, 24 hours. And I was just trying to upgrade my Alexa, and I came across an Alexa, equipment which has a 24 17-inch or 14-inch screen, and on the voice of the user, Alexa keeps moving with that slide, with this beautiful display, and all you need to do is see what Alexa has to offer. How did this happen? I was so intrigued, impulsive in terms of upgrading my Alexa. It's for 24,000 bucks now. What happened? All of a sudden, the customer preference changed from a 6,000 bucks Alexa to a 24,000 bucks Alexa. Why? Because it kept hitting the customer's mind screen that, hey, Alexa is here with 24,000 bucks model, which is a LCD screen. It gives you all the beautiful features, etc., etc. It has a built-in camera for CCTV if you're not at home. So many things. And a customer like me is so impulsive now to buy Alexa. That's the power of advertisement. That is the power of social media, right? And that is the kind of money that is being spent by huge logos in the social media platform so that their products can see a whooping success. As per one of the study by Oblero, 74% of people rely on social media to make purchasing decisions. 74% because of the influencers. 49% of people rely on influencers for product recommendations. They go by recommendations by users, subscribers, so that they buy their product, and directly they're on the e-commerce platform buying that product. 42% of the people who saw influencer ads ended up trying the product or service. Just imagine the kind of sales that we're talking about. That's the power of influencers. So for any digital marketing campaign, one of the biggest force or powerhouse is influencers. These influencers come in different phases. When I say the face of the influencer, it means the entire face is very different for them. You must have come across these faces in the past or in the recent times. That many organizations have started building relationship with these influencers. Can you guys quickly give me names of some of these influencers? Anybody? Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir, we can see the screen.
Can you pop out some names from these common faces? Anyone?
Dwayne Johnson.
Okay.
It's Guru Randhawa.
Okay.
Jannat Jubair,
Okay. Jannat Zubair. Good. Okay.
Guru Randhawa,
Okay. How about the lady in the curly hair? Have you seen her on Facebook? She runs a page called as Curly Tales. Tamia Jan. So she calls her Facebook page as Curly Tales. That's her tales. Onto the right hand side, you have Nas Daily. He comes with some amazing social media content, amazing storytelling. The way Nas goes ahead and tells a story, believe me, the kind of depth of research that this guy comes with, that is the kind of experience digital marketers today have. Guys, if you want to be successful digital marketers, good brand strategists, you have to have a very, very strong inclination towards research and analytics. I don't know how many people have spoken to you guys about this, but one of the biggest skill for you to sell your product or to become a successful digital marketer is to have a strong research, analytic skills. You have to have research. You have to have research in your day-to-day life. Until and unless you don't research a product, you don't do research about what's happening in the market, what's going to be the new wave, what's the league of different game changers, you will not be able to create that social impact. Today, organizations are building relationship with social media influencers like these people. These are just a few examples who can bring their subscribers as their customers. They are getting paid for hefty money. They're getting hugely paid so that their followers on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube can directly go to the product website or product e-commerce website and pick up the product. I have learned so many people from these names who have who have led organization to churn and improve their sales revenue, improve their customer acquisition. Their customer acquisition has gone almost 25 to 30% up than what they could normally gain out of their normal strategy. That's because the social media influencers have helped them to to leverage what's there in the market. And that's the reason all the digital marketers out there, if you really want to make a difference in the marketplace, you have to have very good, strong connects with the social media influencers. If you get into organizations as brand strategists, as chief marketing officer or digital content creators, you will have to understand who is who of the digital marketing space. How can you bring this brand into the market? Boat, Guru Randhawa. Any music that you see on the background, you will see boat, right? The earphones. Likewise, you will see Virat Kohli for all the many important brand logos, right? So every person is associated with a brand. Today, Hyundai has spent over 20 years of its establishment in India. And even today, if you have to speak about Hyundai, it's about Shah Rukh Khan. He comes with innovative ways of presenting himself in his advertisement because of his acting skills. No doubt about it. But what's important is the main brainchild of driving that advertisement. That's what social media influencers do today to most of the brands in the market. Moving to the next one, it is very important to find creators for social media marketing or social media platforms, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. Whether your companies are going with an organic growth or an inorganic growth, you really, really have to engage with the best creators in the block. Digital marketing, like I said, is all about positioning. And to have the right kind of positioning, the right kind of intersection of branding and marketing, you need to have creators because content is the king. In the social media arena, in the digital arena, content is the king. If you have a very lousy content, believe me, your subscription, your viewership will just go down day by day. Within seconds, your viewership will go down. But if you have a very, very powerful content which touches the heart of the user, it touches the mind of the user, it influences their buying persona, buying capacity, then you are in business, my friend. And that's the power of creativity and innovation. We spoke about innovation, we spoke about creativity, we spoke about discovery, right? This is what I call as innovation. This is what I call as storytelling. Creativity and innovation has to be sketched on a drawing board, but before that, it has to touch the mind and heart of people in the market. You cannot touch the heart of the user if it is not convincing, intriguing, challenging, and inspiring. Today, big sports organizations have inspiring leaders, right? For example, Nike. Nike had Michael Jordan as his brand ambassadors for years together. All of the products came with the logo of Jordan doing a slam dunk on NBA. That has become a logo, that has become a status symbol, status quo. Today, when people walk into the shoe shop, in the store in US, any place in the country, you will see that there is a shoe of Nike which comes with Michael Jordan, MJ. That was his power. That was the power of the brand ambassador. And to do that, they were best creators. They were storytellers who spoke about Michael Jordan, the way he started his life, the way he, he took the life to the next level. There cannot be another Michael Jordan. There cannot be another Shah Rukh Khan. There cannot be another Amitabh Bachchan. There could be clones, there could be replica, there could be duplicates, but not a genuine creator of God. And digital marketing is all about digital creation, genuine, which cannot be duplicated. There are adwares in YouTube. A lot of people are doing adwares today, okay, where there are cloning of advertisement of original products and original logos and companies. There are now firewall, cybersecurity to make sure there are no adwares, to make sure there are no cloning, duplication. So this is what creation is all about in the social media platform. As per one of the study with the University of Sydney, when I was looking at the engagement analytics that was presented by them, the global marketing automation market size is expected to reach 8.42 billion by 2027. Almost 86.7%, jobs posting done in Australia are for marketing professionals in the country, and which requires very, very certain key skills for the marketing professional. We'll talk about that. 68% of CMOs expect their Marktech budget to increase in 2021. 44% of marketing analytic teams are expected to grow over the next 2 years. That's the level of demand in the market for this role. You guys are in the right place. Guys are in the right institution of eminence. You are in ITS. You are the students of ITS. You are going to be the market leaders. That's only because of a power of knowledge and the power of expertise, skills, and ability. Nearly half of this growth is expected to be fueled by a need for analytics. That's the reason I said research and analytics go hand in hand for a digital marketeer. If you don't know how the digital matrix looks like, there are some metrics that I will take you through in my next slide. Some notes which I am not sure whether you would have heard about, but I will certainly would like to take you through that, right? If you look at the matrix, these are some of the common nomenclatures that you will see in the digital marketing space. Ad impressions or digital footprints, reach, which is called as narrow targeting, unique link clicks, ULCs, content frequency, how often you see the content, remarketing, it's another way of strategy of remarketing your product. How do you brand your product? How you build your product? You have to do the reach, which is narrow marketing, by unique clicks, by ad impressions. There is a frequency that is set for for the way you're going to promote your marketing strategy. There are algorithms. A lot of people post, various posts on LinkedIn, social media websites, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, etc., Twitter. There is a method to the madness, which is called as hashtag. There are millions of hashtags in the digital web, millions. But do you know that these are categorized only into three major hashtags? The king hashtag, the primary hashtag, and the secondary hashtag. And this is the rule of thumb, right? The cardinal rule of algorithms, that your hashtag must not be greater than 30 and less than 5 hashtags. If your post has less than 5 hashtags, your posts are not going to be visible. You will not see the viewers in the web, because the spider crawls. The spider keeps crawling the web to see for this hashtag, because it can't hear, it can't see. That spider can only read hashtags, the coding, the algorithms with a blue tick. So for that, you need to have very, very strong affinity to the hashtags. If you are promoting a particular post, and if your hashtag is not, completely doing it that way, I've been requested to complete this presentation in the next 10 minutes, which I will do it now. Your hashtag has to be relevant. These are some of the digital marketing metrics. If you look at it, there is cost per click. This is the status or the rate as per yesterday. A LinkedIn is at a $5.58 per click. Twitter is at a $0.58 per click. Google ad, okay, is at ranging between $1 to $2. But Google ad has something called as cost per 1,000 impression. So cost per 1,000 impression equals to one view in Google ad. Likewise, CPE, which is cost per engagement, number of ads per click that a user does. These are some of the basic digital marketing metrics that you want to look at in future. Whenever you are taking up projects for other logos, other companies, they will ask you this: how soon can you improve my cost per 1,000 impression? How many subscribers can you add to my single post? How can you improve my brand visibility? What will it cost me? What is the cost per click on LinkedIn, Twitter, Google, Facebook, Insta? These are some of the digital marketing metrics that you should be looking at. Few tips that I would like to give you guys in terms of your freshness. Never underestimate the power of marketing. You have to continue learning. You need to unleash learning. You have to always be up to speed to stay relevant in the market, because you can't go back and refer to a notebook or a textbook. You need to love the product that you co-create. You have to be passionate about your product, about your campaign, about your brand campaign, marketing campaign. And finally, you need to trust your instinct and go back to the storyboard and say, hey, you know what, this particular story that I have sketched right now, I trust my instinct that this will sail. This will be successful. Try to do some proof of concept, you will get through there. So these are some of the tips that I have for you guys. But most sought after marketing roles globally, if you see, these are some of the important roles that I picked for you guys from internet on LinkedIn. Since we are into the recruitment business, we do a lot of recruitment for chief marketing officers, brand strategists. We hire social media managers, social influencers, and so on and so forth. So some of the relevant brands in the market you have is, the names that you have in the market is brand strategists, brand specialists, communication specialists, brand managers, head of partnerships for improving social influencers relationship, brand managers again, social media managers, social influencer and content marketing, uh, chief brand officer, chief of communication, community relations, so and so forth. So these are some of the common roles that are available in the market. Sarah, that's all from my end. I wanted to make it very short and sweet. I hope I've been within the time. Thank you
Yes,
so
yes, yes.
much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
And this is my final slide for you guys. Any questions, we can rewind if we have time. Else, you have my coordinates on the screen. I'm always available on LinkedIn for the first connect and then on calls.
Thank you, sir, for giving us your views and thoughts about digital marketing. I'm sure that all your tips are going to help us going forward in our careers.
Thank you so much.
Now I request Dr. Sunita Shukla, HOD MBA, to present the plaque of honor.
I'm really honored to facilitate Mr. Iyer with the plaque of honor. Thank you, sir, for giving your precious time for our student. And you have thrown light on social ecosystem. You have focused on building relationship with the social media influencer. That is very right. And one thing I like, content is a king in the social media. That should touch our hearts. And really, we will remember your tips for the power of marketing. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so
And
much.
I hope my students will be remembering your tips forever. Even few things I caught up for my only memory that in one post I gave only 3 hashtags. Now I will keep remembering that there should be at least 5 hashtags for essential for keeping your post live.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
No, I really appreciate that, ma'am. In fact, I was really, really in two minds till yesterday. How am I, as an HR professional, going to do justice to such an eminent topic of yours, and whether I will do justice to your presentation? However, I then thought that we all are marketeers by ourselves, and it's all inherited. We do this day in and day out. So I thought, let me give it a shot and give my perspective to the audience and see what they can get out of it. So thank you so much.
You all talked about the contemporary things. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.